You can't handle the truth.
Oh, hey, how are you? I'm Jim Price with Jim Price Show Daily Update. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The government has trained me well, and I shall repeat the information they've given to me, so I don't want to fray or stray away from wherever they are. It's May 8th. It's a Friday, 2026. Well, anyway, the government tells me how to say that, and I don't want to go against them. They're the best. Gosh, thanks, government. By the way, guys, I was talking to a couple of folks, and I have had this experience, and this was actually something just recently, where I do have people, and like Dave Salee and Dave Glovin and some others, and even like Brenda, people talk to me about, oh, I can't keep you on Facebook, or I can't keep you on, YouTube. And the problem with that is that you are very right. That is what you're experiencing. That is called shadow banning. That is why that is happening, is because they don't want you to see me. And you may think, oh, it's just a thing, it's a glitch here and there. But guys, that's how the machine works. That's how the beast works. And so anyway, I just wanted to remind everybody that the technology and the battle and the evil that does exist is always around us. We battle against principalities and powers of the air. And I use that as a broad stroke brush of that biblical reference. The reason I do that is because everybody's got a variation of that they all want to live by, and it's really weird. I like how people say that the Bible is the Bible is the Bible, the Quran is the Quran is the Quran, the Torah is the Torah is the Torah, but we all have a version that we like. We all have a variation, a derivation of something that we all like. We like our brand of peanut butter, our brand of facial tissues, whether it's Kleenex or Soft Touch or whatever those other all one. Yeah, remember there was all the other, was it? Yeah, like Plus, Soft Plus, or Plus. Anyway. But I do wonder why it is that we allow ourselves to fall into those traps. But, that's just my question for the day. So, let me get to here. I don't think that's good English. Probably should not use that very often. I did name today's episode. Yes, today's episode has a title. It is Peace. And the reason I named it Peace, I want to talk a little bit about that. But there's other things coming up here. Getting in the way of peace. Now, what the peace is about is Russia and Ukraine are going to quit blowing each other up. And can we still go back to the original treaty when the USSR fell that said that anytime any of the states that moved away from the conglomerate, the corporate head of Russia, that you are to default back to the authority of Russia? Now, Ukraine decided not to do that when they no longer could provide for themselves. They ran to the European Union, who had been paying them to do really bad things on Earth, and said, oh, help me. And then America got in there because we got some liberals out there that think that it's okay to just give $300 billion to a country that ain't going to win the war, and it ain't none of our business, and it ain't our... And by the way, Ukraine is Russia's motherland. It's like they're Bethlehem. So, hey, all you, Israel is sovereign and burga. How about you give Ukraine back to Russia, where it's their Bethlehem? Can you do that for me, and we can stop talking about all this crap? Well, anyway, sorry, I got off on a thing here. Russia has now agreed, and Ukraine has now agreed to not shoot anybody for the weekend. So going into Mother's Day weekend, we're just not going to shoot each other. So I don't know if it's Mother's Day in Ukraine on Sunday, but happy Mother's Day. That'll be the last day, though. That'll be the last day, because today was like the first day, and then tomorrow will be the second day, and the third day. And they're saying, well, if we could do 3 days in a row, we could do 4. And if we could do 4, you know what we could do? more. Anyway, so that's kind of their ideology. I don't know. And this, guys, listen. I have got to get it through my thick skull. I do not understand this. Where we can't stop this. Like Russia. By the way, let me do another little Jimism here. This is Jim Price's opinion. I made this up. I saw it on a bathroom wall. Hope that Sharon is really as good as they say she is, because I got her number. Oh my gosh, I sometimes crack myself up. Okay. In Ukraine, the Khazarian mafia was running the joint. Russia didn't want to go into Ukraine because they had an agreement and everything was fine, everything was good, except for we started paying for a revolution, a culture revolution, where we overthrew the government of Ukraine and put into power dummies, Khazarian mafia. Now, this is my made-up story. I dream of this at night. I lay, with my hands like this, sleeping. I don't do that. I don't sleep on my back like I'm dead. But anyway, I'm making this all up. So the Khazarian mafia was running through Ukraine. La 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 la. We do what we want. Biolabs, gene splicing, child trafficking. Come on. Good to see you. Oh, Luther Bradley's here. What's up, Luther? And Julie, I was thinking of you and Luther today. I mean, it really was. And Brenda, you too, and Terrence William. Okay, I thought of you all. But no, Julie and Luther were some reason on my mind. In fact, I even came across some messages from Luther earlier, and I really did appreciate kind of going back and reading that. Guys, listen. When you guys do send me little notes, whether they're postcards or letters in the mail, or even little cookbooks and things like that, I do keep all of them, and I do maintain an archive of gifts and personal items throughout here. And so when I do go back and I read or I look at these, I do think of the moment, and I do think of that, because to me, I can go back in my monologue, my internal monologue, where I can hear myself thinking and talking and problem solving and all this. But I will go back and I will look at the past from this weekend, or I'll go back to this CPAC green. This was back in 23 at CPAC, right? But here's when I was a speaker in Miami, Florida, and that was for the Clay Clark event. And how about when I was actually working on the extreme makeovers? I worked on 2 extreme makeovers back when those were a big deal. But I think of those things because they are important. And when Luther, I just happened to come across your message, and it just kind of was nice to read that, bro. So thank you for that. What you said in that last messenger through Facebook. And Julie D, I was just thinking of you because you're a cool person. I kind of like hanging out with you and stuff like that. So I thought, I just wonder what she was doing. And that was it. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the float trip. I want to get there. I've sized it down to about a 10, 12 person cabin. Still costs $150 a person. It just, anyway, I still want to go float. But anyway, guys, if you guys want to do that or you want to get together that Memorial Day weekend, let's figure it out. All right, so let's get on to the things that. I was talking about some other stuff. I'm gonna try to. No, I'm gonna try to not go back there. But we were gonna. Wait, you just made my day brighter. No, Luther. Guys, we're great to each other when we try, and you did a great job, man. And I tell you, Brenda's been inspirational. Julie's been inspirational. Terrence has been inspirational to me. And I don't know if I'm gonna give you guys a little compliment here, real quick. I got you for. I'm pegged you guys because these are some comments I'm catching right here. But let me tell you, Terrence William, I don't know who you are. I don't know if we've ever met. I don't know if we've ever really talked, but I watch your posts. I watch the things you do, and I do enjoy it, man. I just enjoy what you're at. I don't know you from Adam for whatever reason. That's cool. But Terrence Williams, I appreciate. It was good, man. And Terrence Williams is just right on that heartbeat where I'm at. I do like it. He asked today, Terrence says, did you all see the UFO files today? Well, yes. And here's the thing, guys. I think Trump missed the real promotional moment of all of this. Didn't we just have May the 4th? Did he just miss the May the 4th by 4 days by releasing UFO files on a Friday instead of on a Monday? And I have seen some of the star ones and the different things. I like it. It's cool. There was a teardrop one. There was some other stuff. And there's, guys, listen. If you want to believe that you can stand on your tippy toes and you can see the edge of the earth because it's so flat and you're just so tall and you know that it sits on 4 pillars in the sky, or it doesn't, however you want to believe, guys. If you want to believe you're so big, and you think you're the only thing, just come on, guys. Come on. There's more to us than just what we see here on this earth, and we know that because we have a creator that we know, and we understand the energy and the frequency of things. And the sad part of it is we think of ourselves so big, it actually makes us so very small. Our ego gets in the way. And if we learn to actually just realize how brilliant everything is and then just bringing it in instead of trying to create something other than reality. Anyway, I just want to kind of put that out there as a thing, just kind of, anyway. So, all right, so Terrence Williams, yeah, I did see the UFO stuff. Good stuff. I'm glad. But again, I think Trump missed the window there. I think the window was May the 4th. May the force be with you. Whatever it would sound like. I'm sure there's a copyright infringement I just did there for the weird voice I was just trying to make because I'm being obnoxious. But anyway, going back, I do wonder if he missed that moment, and it would have been kind of cool, like come out of the White House lawn to like a microphone and then a big flyover with like the stealth bombers, only, the whole thing, and kind of do the whole, and and have him like, just like drop drop a thumb drive or something, and here's if you want the truth, I don't know. It could have been something I don't know. I'm not a producer for that stuff, but it sounds like that would have been fun. Even you could have you know what? This would have really rolled the eyes, and the Democrats would have fell over dead. But you could have put Trump in like the black cloak that Darth Vader has, and just have him walk out there just with the black cloak, just that, right? That would put the internet sideways. It would probably do the 10 days of darkness, and we would not have internet for 10 days. It would crash the internet because now Lord Vader, Trump, has now taken over the earth, and, we've lost our humor, haven't we? But I think that'd be pretty good there. Anyway. So, Kathleen Buck is here. What? What's up, Kathleen? Good to see you here. All right, so I just, guys, listen, we can do so much, right? We can do so much, and we could be amazing, and we could do things, but everything I was telling you guys about, what I was saying to you guys, and yes, Terrence William, we do need to get coffee, Lamb. Let me know. We'll figure it out. We're there for each other. We just don't seem to really get it, right? We are within arm's reach of each other. Yes, in America, we have some hot spots of population, but yes, we are very spread out. But again, when you're spread out, you're kind of better people. So here's the thing. We need to figure this out and get better, but I don't think we need to be fighting the Khazarian Mafia in Ukraine. I don't think we care about what the Russians do in there. I don't think we need to be involved in the Gaza Strip. I don't think we need to be backing a religion inside of a country. I think if the country has problems or whatever, they can resolve that on their own. Again, we went into a religious war with Iran. I will call it for what it is. It is a religious war. We were trying to get the Ayatollah, which was saying that Allah has told me you have to, poop sideways or something. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just being facetious because that's how the country was being ran, is everything was through Allah. And this guy was the only one talking to him. He's like, hey. It's a collect call. Don't interrupt. It's Allah. Shh. I'm the only one. No. Listen, I'm the... What, you question Allah? Huh? No, I'm on the phone with him right now. Yeah, it's one-way call. Hey, I'm busy. Yes, Allah? Oh, I should go ahead and strike them down for their blaspheming? Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Oh, that's going to happen as soon as we're done here, sir. Yeah, what's that, Allah? You want me to make sure that we humiliate all the human beings there and make them feel less than... Okay, yeah, we can do that. Burkus, we got that. Yeah, we're going to do the whole... yeah, we'll do that. The eye, we're going to do the screen on the eye. Okay, we're going to go that far. Okay, cool. What else? Oh, Sharia law, bringing that on. Oh, yeah, I like the Sharia law. Thanks, Allah. I was needing that one. I mean, that's what we got out of there, okay? And again, we regime changed in Ukraine, okay? Blame that on whoever you want, but we're paying for it. We've been in there tinkering around in Israel. We've been tinkering around in Afghanistan and the Sudan and Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan. And then now we're over in Iran. Wait, what? That was the only piece left. Now, there's a lot of information out there about the SWIFT system and the exchange of assets when the King of England came over and brought the charter back to America. The same charter that was lost in 1871 when General Grant went into an agreement with the Vatican, the Bank of London, or the City of London, and the District of Columbia. The three spires, the three heads of the snake, right? So this is an idea that, guys, that there's a lot of stuff getting ready to come our way, a lot of amazing things, and I'm doing a little preemptive. Tuesday, I'm going to have a person on that you guys are going to want to be a part of the show. I used to work with this system back 4 or 5 years ago, even longer. I was really, really into it, and this guy seems to have perfected the paperwork. I still have paperwork outstanding that has not been returned from the government. Anyway, and these are things that are actually signed by by human beings. These are wet signature stuff. This is not people making up or rubber stamping things. But anyway, things are coming. And if you guys know anything about the banking system and SWIFT, that is changing exponentially fast. So, all right, let's go on to this is kind of a crazy thing. Now, that was the peace agreement. That's why we named the episode what we did. Ukraine and Russia are not going to fight for a minute. So we'll see how that lasts. That also is coming behind where Iran is getting ready to disclose what they're going to do to meet peace terms with America. That's actually happening as well. Which means that all this is going to get wrapped up by the end of May, which is what Trump said. Was it Trump that said that, or was it Rubio that said that? That they'd be done by May. End of May? Do you remember that? It was like 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Trump on Thursday linked a violent rhetoric flow from White House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Mr. Placeholder himself. Listen, I feel sympathy for Hakeem. I know that they're only putting him there because his ego thinks he wants to be there, but they're only putting them there because they don't want to burn anybody out right now. They want to just let him be the placeholder. They are waiting for the midterms. They fully expect this, but I will tell you, I was going to talk a little bit about the redistricting stuff yesterday, and I think we talked a lot about it. But guys, the redistricting is going to go back the way it should be, and it's actually a more honest district. Now, I will tell you, going back to Trump's election, going back to 2020, I said that between 95 and 98 million votes were cast for Trump, and that does mean that Biden only got somewhere about 25 to 30 million, or maybe 35 million how you add the numbers, because there are other people on the ballot. Anyway, the redistricting is actually putting things back, and it is just going back to a point where we can actually live with. And it's actually very fair. It's actually very authentic. But then next year, going into next year's census, that is going to determine so many things, because we're going to go ahead and try not to count the illegals, according to the Supreme Court. Now, by the way, the Supreme Court has the federal Supreme Court, the one we all like, oh, anything they say, it's the golden goose. Oh, thank you, Lord Jesus. They did say the redistricting is actually going to stick with the Republican model. So I don't know what to tell you there, guys. There's a lot of these things that a lot of people are like losing hope on and this and that. Now, by the way, Georgia is suing to get back their envelopes for their mail-in ballots. I know this sounds crazy. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. They're suing the federal government to get the mail-in ballots that do not have a matching envelope. I mean, in other words, all the illegal ballots. And that's somewhere in the range of exactly how many came in from that Arizona printing company that drove the night and landed in Georgia, where they found that 318,000 or whatever it was extra votes in 2020. Remember that? And then all of a sudden that came in and it was just like all Uncle Joe, boom, 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 boom. Remember that? See, they had to print that many to still only win, or still to only win by like 14,000. They had to go and print 300 and some odd thousand to be able to get to win by like 14,000 or something like that, or 12,000. See, the point of it is, guys, is a lot of this stuff is happening. We do have, oh, by the way, remember Big Gap Tooth down there in Georgia got the $2 billion in EPA money to replace refrigerators in the hills of Tennessee. Remember that? Yeah, she's back in the politics, and she's talking about how unfair it has been and how ruthless the Republicans were during Biden's time. So that's cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Stacey Abrams, $2 billion for refrigerators. I don't know who's selling $2 billion at Whirlpool refrigerators, but I bet you his bonus is going to be pretty cool this year. Right, Stacey? Because you're buying refrigerators, right? Wink, winky, 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 winky. Because it's all about, helping the people, right, Stacey? You better make sure. By the way, guys, listen, we may have gave her that $2 billion, but I'm going to tell you right now, she better spend $2,001,000,001 buying only refrigerators and only washers and dryers, because I'm going to tell you what, there's an audit coming her way, and she hasn't even begun to imagine what that looks like. Guys, here's the thing. As a federal contractor for almost 20 years, I really feared that, because they reviewed your stuff, and if they go back 10 years, 12 years, if they want to. If they got somebody ain't got nothing to do with the feds, I guess they just get in there and like, oh, let's go back and review this. Oh, looks like here you didn't pay someone $20. And they will go back and they will make sure you write that person that $20 plus 3% interest or something, whatever it is. Like, guys, so listen, Stacey, I know you're cool and all that, and that big gap tooth thing you got going there so you can whistle. But I would say, just as a personal, hey, sweetheart, listen, I'm not trying to talk down to you. I'm just trying to give you some advice. You better make sure all that money really gets spent on refrigerators. Just saying. Anyway, all right. So Hakeem Jeffries, Mr. Placeholder himself, this lunatic Hakeem Jeffries, low IQ Jeffries, should be charged with inciting violence, Trump posted on Truth Social. Yeah, that's going around there. The radical left Democrats actually want to destroy our country, Trump posted. When Jeffries was asked about the comment he made after the attempt on Trump's life, he said, I stand by it. Axios. Jeffries mocked so-called criticism from these phony Republicans. Again, where does Hakeem live? What are my dogs doing? You okay? Everybody okay? See if I'll get him down here. They're barking at the door. Hakeem Jeffries is like, anyway, all right, let's get back to it. All right. When he does this mocking thing, and he does this hand gesture, and he looks, by the way, I get DC's full legal. Like, there's people smoking weed on the street, and I'm cool with it, bro. Just do you, boo. I don't know why we limit people so much, because when I limit you, you can limit me, and I don't like that, right? So, anyway, but why does Hakeem look really like he is just half-baked? I mean, he is just tore down. Like, he's been hitting it. Like, I got a press conference. Oh, I totally forgot. Oh, I'm too high for this. Oh, and he goes out there. He's like, all right, listen. When the Republican is going high, I'm going low, man. I'm doing because you can't get one by me. And I'm like, dude, you got to get the toothpicks involved. All right, anyway. Hakeem Jeffries just called the White House press secretary, Leavitt, a stone-cold liar for highlighting the violent rhetoric Democrats have spewed for years. Jeffries is mad that Democrats are being exposed for promoting of its violence. Okay, well, that's okay. I know you don't like us talking about it, but it's kind of not cool, so stop. How about, it's like, hey, you stop, and then we don't have to talk about it. Isn't that how that works? Like, so you stop shooting us, and I'll quit talking about you shooting us because there's nothing to talk about because you're not shooting us. Is that not math? I mean, hold on a second. Okay, so if they don't shoot us, okay, then I don't have to talk about them shooting us, right? So then that solves the part where they don't want us talking about them shooting us. Okay. Is that right? Is that the math? Can I do that? All right. You can continue to criticize me for it. I don't give a damn about the criticism. Get lost, he said after the attempt on Trump's life. Jeffries was criticized by Republicans for language that could be easily interpreted as calls to violence. So-called Hakeem Jeffries is a disgrace to the United States Congress. Republican Randy Fine of Florida posted on X, he is deranged, disgusting, and violent. It is unacceptable that House Democrats continue to remain silent in the aftermath of his call for maximum warfare. That is true. He did say, and that, guys, listen, I never thought to string some of these words together, and maybe that's the part that they're bringing some introductions of things to us, right? We can appreciate a little of their culture, but maximum warfare. Well, warfare really isn't not maximum. Warfare is kind of you've gone to war, right? So there's this is not like a thing where oh, hey, patty cake, bakers, man. No? Oh, no, because we're in warfare. Maximum. Get the big one. Maximilian. MAGA. Everywhere, all the time against Republicans. They casually accept... Their casual acceptance of hateful and decisive language enables this out-of-control behavior. So that was from Fine. Oh, my goodness. Democrats must hold so-called Hakeem accountable. Why does he keep saying so-called? I don't know why that's in there that way. That's weird. The Democrat rhetoric is demonic and dangerous. Wow, we got a lot of language out there. But see, again, it's this is where hey, just stop. I mean, and again, if you can't win me, get it honestly at the ballots, just let people vote for you. And if you can't just seem to get it, through your ideas that you think that not taxing personal property is a great idea and I ought to be a congressman for it. The city council can do that. Then the county commissioners can do it. And then the state can do it. But they're too thirsty. They're too addicted to those zeros. And by the way, did you know the city of Wichita isn't actually ran by the city council? The city council is actually nothing but a figurehead. That the entire city of Wichita is ran by the city manager, and he has unfettered power to do anything he will, change the budget, do what he wants, put projects on, take projects off, kiss people's ass, not kiss their ass, and he can do it any way he wants. Now, everybody's like, well, Jimmy, that's absolutely wrong. And I'm like, you're right. That is. You're exactly right. Please tell me where I was wrong on those. Please re-describe how our city council is nothing but a bunch of sock puppets acting like they got something to do when in reality it's the city manager that runs the whole joint. We have one singular person in the city of Wichita that runs this whole thing. That's the police department's budget, the firemen's, the city. See, that's why you don't have that, because you want to diversify the strength of someone into a council. You want the council to be in charge of what the city is doing. Oh, no. We do that. Brent says, oh, yes, they be thirsty. Oh, that's right. Absolutely. All right. So this is just, I'm just going out there. By the way, Utah Supreme Court Justice who had romantic relationship with the leftist redistricting lawyer involved in helping Democrats steal Congress seats resigns. So the Supreme Court Justice decided that they're going to go ahead and resign after getting caught having sex with someone who was being paid to manipulate the Supreme Court Justice. Ta-da! But we won't replace him with anybody better. We'll just put another crappy person in there that's a little younger and will live longer, and they'll still get their retirement, and there'll be a Supreme Court justice on the wall forever. This is why we do not have leadership, is because we do not hold this person accountable for what they've done, and the problem is that it's really none of our business. Yes, it's our business that they had a personal relationship with someone, but what they did is none of it. How we know about it, I want to know how that happened. And then why was it that this woman is not being charged with a crime for honeypotting the Supreme Court justice or the purpose of paying them to do the same honeypotting? Can we not charge them with RICO, manipulation or fraud or bribery of a public official? Is that not how that works? Am I just making shit up that doesn't exist? I mean, come on, guys. You tell me. Anyway, so there's James Comey's trial has been posted. It'll be scheduled now, so who cares? I don't know why that's not a thing for me. It's not a big deal. Ooh, let's see here. After triumphant U.S. visit, King Charles returns to Britain, goes to rest in Wood Farm, but skips visiting his disgraced brother Andrew, living only half a mile away. Okay. That was I don't know if that. Grandpa went to America for a few days, and he came home. He's tired. He's going to lay down for about a few days. So he'll get back to you guys maybe Sunday around Mother's Day. He'll feel a little better, get a little wind under his sails. How about you do that? You come on back now. We'll see what Grandpa says here in 2 or 3 days. I don't know. He's tired. And he's not going to visit his brother because... ouch. I mean, what do people... Is this the article? But this stuff has to go out. This is the stuff that people do read. Anyway, didn't sound that cool when I read it out loud. Oh, listen here. What we got? Oh, Hakeem Jeffries' big mouth comes back to bite him. Uh-oh. By the way, that gerrymandered stuff that they did in Virginia, I mean, when you bring the Supreme Court out of the shadows, then they're going like, hey. Stop. And that's all they said. That's all they said. They're just like, put it back. Put it back. Don't make me come out. I'll put my robe on. I'll come out. Don't make me come out there. That was basically, you got to really be screwing up, Virginia. And by the way, okay, Witcher, Holcomb, and then this other chick for Virginia. I mean, ladies, I don't know what we're doing for representation, but these women are not kicking it for you guys. Like, they're really not helping out. This Virginia chick, where she's like double speaking and really going back on what she promised and even her word and some things, blah, blah, blah. I just wonder, like, ladies, do you guys have meetings still where you decide, like, hey, this is not the dumb shit we want out in front here? Can we do the days with, like, Farrah Fawcett? Can we do the days where, like, Cheryl Teague or I don't know. I don't know which ones are men anymore, right? So I'm trying to think of some of these older things where we actually could say, oh, that one doesn't have a dingling. Because all the weirdos in the Victoria's Secret models, right? Anyway. Let's go on here. Hakeem Jeffries. So that lady's got to quit lying. She's just not doing a good. You guys got to let's get back to when chicks were hot. Are we not? Hey, can I ask you a quick question? Are we not allowed to have hot girls anymore? Is that a thing? Are we not allowed to do hot girl? Like, I'm serious. I know some people are doing the Ozempic and they're trying to thin it down, things, this and that, but are we not doing hot girl stuff? You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a question or not. I mean, maybe that's thought-provoking. I don't know if that's the right way, but seriously, what happened to the days when it was like, I guess that was the 80s. I mean, we really were killing it in the 80s. I mean, the shoulder pads, boing. You could take off in the right kind of wind with those things. They get you a little lift. Ooh, oof, windy out today. Anyway, I spun off there for no good reason. All right, so here it says, Hakeem Jeffries learned the hard way that it's a bad idea to shoot your mouth off before the process has concluded after Democrats suffered a devastating redistricting setback today. The latest devastating blow to radical Democrats' attempt to redraw Virginia's congressional maps mid-decade had themselves a supermajority in the House by turning the state from a competitive 6-5 split into a laughable, unfair 10-1. Virginia voters previously approved the state legislation, and Governor Abigail Spanberg, she got her done. The day after the vote, Jeffries, he's all, our message to Florida Republicans is you F around and you find out. If they go down the road of DeSantis, dummy Mandarin, Florida Republicans are going to find themselves in the same situation them Texas Republicans. Wow. Sir, have you been on the gin this morning? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so I don't know if he said it that way or not. I was just paraphrasing. And I make all this up. This is actually, I'm not actually reading anything factual. This is all made up and conjecture. I just thought it would be entertaining to read this. So anyway, well, Jeffries is the one who found out after Virginia Supreme Court ruling that DeSantis is laughing. Yeah. After he finished punching through the walls of his house, Jeffrey released a statement claiming he would look for ways to overturn the ruling. See, this is where they were at. Like, hey, Virginia Supreme Court, we're giving you the finger. And this is just a feather because you don't deserve the whole bird. Because we're just going to go above your head, Virginia Supreme Court. But this humiliation could have been avoided had Virginia Democrats listened to the legal experts, including former Virginia Attorney General Ken, who warned from the beginning of the process that validated multiple. It violated. It is late in the day. It's been a long week, right? It violated multiple provisions in the Virginia Constitution. So, again, this is where it's like, but Hakeem's got to jump in there, right? He's got to get in there early. And there are things I do, guys. There's a lot of things I purposely don't talk about in the show the day it happened because there's some of these stories that I don't like how they come out, and it's like I want to give it a little bit, like this whole hantavirus thing that everybody's all weird about. Hantavirus is in mouse shit. Do you know how many places on Earth have mouse shit? I don't know. All of them. What it is if you humanly consume them. So somewhere along the line, something got contaminated, some food source or whatever it was, and the bacteria took off, and it's very much like flu symptoms. Maybe even this cough I have. I've now conjectured hantavirus from the Arctic Circle. And there's a new vaccine that Pfizer said was out, too. So they have a hantavirus vaccine if you'd like to get one. And there are a lot of representations of what is coming out about the list of things that are coming out on the original shots. So you remember those original shots that everybody was so like, hey, if you don't get that, you can't travel. Well, this has actually come out. This is actually part of Pfizer's published list of possible side effects. Pfizer says this is their possible side effects. Blood clots, kidney injury, flaccid myelitis, positive anti-sperm antibodies. What? Brainstem embolism. That's where the ambulance comes and gets you, and you're already dead. Brainstem thrombosis. Again, that's where the ambulance comes and gets you because you're dead. Heart failure. Cardiogenic shock. Central nervous system vasculitis. Neonatal death. Deep vein thrombosis. Brainstem encephalitis. Wow, I have not said that. I don't know if I've ever seen that word. I've heard it, people say about it, but anyway, say about it. I've heard that other people talk about it. Frontal lobe epilepsy. I don't know. No. Epilepsy, and then it's in my frontal lobe. No. Fetal distress syndrome, facial paralysis. These are cool. Turbo cancer. I'm just skipping around here now. Pericarditis. Who knew about that one? Stillbirths, pneumonia. Oh, it'll give pneumonia. Wait. It'll give you pneumonia. It'll give you bacteria in your lungs and the water in your lungs. But I was trying not to die of water in my lungs because then that. All right. Low birth weight, liver damage. Cool stuff. Juvenile myoclonic epilepsy. Holy shit, people. Intestinal lung disease. Interstitial lung disease. Wow. Jugular vein embolism. Oh, that's where your vein right here just goes. I'm sure that'll grow back. It's like a starfish. This is crazy. Anyway, so, I mean, guys, this hantavirus stuff, like I said, I don't go out running around looking for it. I'm not trying to, make it a thing. But I think they're all full of it because hantavirus is everywhere. It was first discovered in the Four Corners area of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Colorado, Nevada, I think is all. What all four? Yeah, it's all four of them. Utah, Pennsylvania. They're all in that Four Corners area. I think Massachusetts is in there too. Anyway, but that's where they really came up with it. Is back in the 90s. I remember hantavirus became a thing, and there was a group of people in that area, kind of secluded, that had contracted this new bacteria that nobody had seen or heard of in a long time. And what it was, it's actually from mouse droppings. So you can take that for whatever you want, but that's the only way you get it. You gotta eat mouse poop, or have been handling it enough to get it into your and you can't cough it on anybody. There really is, it's like you have to be overly exposed to it for it to even be able to contractable. So in other words, you have to eat shit to get this. So when people are dying of it and there's multiples of it, somebody's food was contaminated. Whatever that source was. And here's the thing, that poop could have been going into the water. It could have been going into a juice that they had in a refrigerator or something, those walk-in freezers, and it could have had an untight lid or whatever, and they could have been pooping in there, and people don't know that bacteria is in there with all that extra sugar and all that stuff going on. There's a lot of areas that this could happen. Milk, types of dairy, even cheese. So it's not like it's impossible, but this whole thing, I'm like, oh, don't go near it. It's like, well, quit eating mouse poop. Anyway, and I know I'm simplifying, and I'm being a little sarcastic about it, and I'm sure there's other ways, and blah blah blah. You sure you can get it from space dust when you're on the moon? Who knows? We'll just make it up as we go along. And I do believe that Zelensky's going to jack all this whole peace agreement up. He's going to throw a bomb somewhere, and it's not going to last. I just feel like he's the guy. He's the guy that keeps it going. And let's go back to the UFO stuff. We only got a few minutes here before the end of the show, and it's been great seeing all the comments. Thank you guys today. It's been great. The UFO stuff. Now, here's part of the deal, guys. There's all kinds of people making all kinds of cool shit on Earth. There's 8 billion chances every single day that someone has invented or tried something that may have launched themselves into outer space or time dimensions or whatever. We don't know. Do we? There's 8 billion chances every day. Now, I'm not really the guy looking for, time dilation technology and doing the, this and that, but I will definitely jump on board if someone wants me to. Hey, I'd love to talk about it. I'd love to research it. There's a lot of cool stuff I know about, and if we put together a little research lab, there's some neat things that could happen. Anyway, UFOs. Not all UFOs are little gray people or lizard people or octopi people or whatever it is we call them people. Anyway, what we call them things. So some of it is our stuff. Some of it we're trying to figure it out. Some of it are people like, we can say, we'll do the childish example of maybe it's Iron Man, right? Maybe there is a guy in a steel suit that runs around the earth and, does little good things and here and there, and we haven't met him yet. His name is Tony Stark, and he, but there's possibilities that we do have things that we're really working on that don't work. that are a piece of shit, and we're not going to talk about it because we just don't tell about our failures, right? That's the other thing, too. How many things are we all like, oh, man, I saw this thing. It's a UFO. I know it was. I saw it with my own two eyes. Well, how do we know that it's like, oh, yeah, it flew that one time, and it was a piece of shit. Like, we're not flying it again. It's cool for a minute, but we're all going to die. But we know that there's also other types of propulsion. We know that you can use ions to move things, heavy objects with ions, which ions are actually created when water falls, and ion generation is very easy, which is very, very low voltage, and it actually is similar to ozone in a lot of ways. So anyway, just this whole thing of UFOs, just be cool with it. And I'm not saying like, oh, yeah, man, the lizard people, hey, love you guys, woo, peace and love, West Side. No, I'm saying this, don't say no, because there's a lot of stuff 5 years ago you said no to. There's a lot of stuff you said 3 years ago no to. There's stuff 6 years ago, 10 years ago. There was a guy named Trump rolling down an escalator that I didn't vote for in the primaries. But that's the problem is that I didn't see how it was working because I saw him. They had Bush out ahead by bazillion points. They had Cruz in there. They had, who's the one that is he's the real constitutionalist and he really sticks to his guns. I do appreciate it. But he's like a no vote on everything when it comes to spending. He always does no. Rand Paul. Rand Paul, there was a lot of guys out there that were really doing it. And the fact that Trump pulled it out, again, a lot of people were saying no, including the people who were stuffing the ballot boxes said no way. Why do you think they spent like $1 bazillion on their inauguration acceptance? The glass ceiling. Remember they had it in that glass cube building? I don't even know where that's at. I've never seen that before or since. Is that like movie prop shit that they do? Anyway. All right, well, guys, there's so much of this. It's like that. It just bothers me that it's like, is this all theater? The Nancy Pelosi's of the world, the Hillarys, the Hakeems of it. And so if you honestly, it is actually more palatable if you really just kind of think that they're all just a bunch of actors. Because here's the problem. Here's how I can validate that. You want to validate it? Let's do that. So let me get a little. We can call them all paid actors because they've sold themselves to play that position, just like AOC. We all know she went to a casting call. Why are we still not talking about? Why is that like, oh, let's quit talking about it? Can we talk about turban chick with the Somalis, Elon with the apple cider vinegar with the syringe and the supposed, see, I stand up to him, white man, or whatever. Remember, she made some she made a little reference in there. She's trying. She did she got like little bitty hands too. Little bitty hands, little bitty face structure, like you married your cousin or your brother. But she's like, what happened to that? What happened to, anyway, so getting back to the UFOs, I do believe that there are things that we have been doing all along, and it's just cool stuff. Like, we had what we knew Germany was doing with anti-gravity back in the 50s. So, like, guys, like, you think we lost we won the war. We're going to tell everybody we lost the war, but America's going to say they are cool, and we're going to say okay, and it's all part of the big agreement. And, that anti-gravity, we don't need that anymore. We'll just go back to railways. Toot, toot. So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? And by the way, if Germany was such the horrible place, then how did they have all that money to sustain that war for all those years? They had to buy their stuff from somebody, right? Not everything was made in the land of Germany, right? Wasn't Ford giving them pickup trucks for a while, or front ends or chassis for a while? Sold them motors. General Motors sold them to him. Chrysler sold them to him. Dodge sold him motors. Dodge sold him variations of even like Jeeps. I mean, so again, Germany had money. I don't know what they were. They're selling oranges on the street, or are they wholesaling oranges on the world market? This is what anyway. These are the questions, because guys, we've all been lied to about this stuff. We know that Germany went into Western Poland to take back the land that was taken from them in World War I, and they were kicking the Khazarian mafia out. And so what did Eisenhower do? But said, well, we don't have anywhere to send these people, these 6 million people. Where do we send these 6 million people? Oh, we'll send them down there to Bethlehem, and we'll call it Israel. Can we all do math for a second here? Can we all see what we call this? Palestine, the exact shape of Palestine right now, is exactly the shape of Israel right now, or back then. So Palestine, exactly that shape, is exactly what Israel is now. But they had to get rid of the Khazarian mafia out of Poland, Western Poland, and they had to get 6 million of them moved. That's where the 6 million came from. Oh, I know, my grandma snuck her watch out in her butt, and can't talk about this and that. Guys, the Germans were no longer able to feed these people that were put into these camps so that they could feed them and house them because they had nowhere else to go. They were concentrated into those camps because it was the best way to feed them and house them. And then when they had no money and they had nothing left because we were bombing the butt off of them, maybe they weren't able to feed everybody that they had on the roll. Like, again, we pay a lot of money in America housing inmates for people that are there for administration crimes. 70%, minimum 70% of all the prisoners in our jails right now are only making money for jailers because they're administration crimes. That means there was not a human being involved in the crime. There was no victim. But at the end of the war, Germany wasn't taking care of their responsibilities, and people were starving. People were, let's just be careful on that stuff. I mean, we got a lot of evidence now, and AI is not helping with translation on Germany and all that stuff, where we were all kind of hidden in the dark about stuff. And guys, we are the biggest mushrooms on earth in America. We are so well and overly informed in some areas, and we are on everything else. We are so, we're backwards. And we're sheltered in it. We don't even understand how most of the world works. And then when we go over to other countries, that's why we look like weirdos, because we're the circus in the place. These people are living in a completely different world than we are, and we don't know why. Because we don't learn about stuff. And we need to be more open to it. Quit lying to ourselves. All right, guys. Well, that's about it for me. I know I went a little long today. Good to see everybody out there. Great comments today. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, absolutely. Terrence out there, Williams. Thank you, sir. We got Brenda, Kathleen. Julie was up there earlier. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, Luther Bradley was in there. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Remember the 10% we do for our neighbor, community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less I have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless and not so damn selfish. The world will be a far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast. Do not give up. Do not give in. We'll win. I promise. I promise I can't keep, guys. You've always been that answer out there. Remember, the Constitution limits the government, but never limits you. You guys got this. All right, guys, that's about it for me. Good stuff. Enjoy your weekend. It is Mother's Day on Sunday, if you have a mother. You make the call. I can't tell you what to do, right? As a child who didn't have a good one, you really had to look at people and like, you need to tell her you love her. Again. So you guys got to pick your poison, and maybe find someone that is a better mother to you than your own mother. And that's okay, too, because family's family, right? Blood's blood, but family's family. And sometimes family sticks together. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys all be good to you. You guys all be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.